welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to start with the card opening, do a card opening reveal, and then we'll talk through those cards as we do it. So today, if you see, I'm running low, but we're going to do a Cosmic Cartel pack today. If any of you haven't seen the card opening process from the Nexus, it's pretty straightforward. As long as you got the packs in your wallet that's connected, all you got to do is click redeem, sign it, and wait a few minutes for it to go. So we'll wait for that to happen, and we'll be back with the review. Alright, now the pack is loaded in. We're going to have a chance to reveal each one individually. So before I do so, just a quick note about all of the different rarities. There are 5 rarities. Going from most common to least common, you have common, rare, grand, legendary, and ultra. So the ultra cards, very rare, about a 1% chance of getting an ultra out of a pull. I think the legendaries are around 5%, so those are still also very rare. And then going down from there, you get more rare as you go to grand, then rare, and then common. So since I opened up a Cosmic Cartel pack, there are 2 specific factions for each pack. For Cosmic Cartel, I believe it's the Custodians and Spacers. So there will be 3 Spacer cards, 3 Custodian cards, and 1 neutral somewhere in here. So without further ado, let's see how lucky or unlucky I get. And let's start with the first card.
Rare.
Alright, Builder Unit Rare for the Custodians.
Common.
Common Custodian here.
Rare.
Alright, another Builder Unit, so not too great on the Custodians. Let's see if the Astral or the neutral give us anything better.
Common. Rare.
Okay, I think I might already have one of these, but we can talk about it.
Common. Grand.
Okay, we did get a grand. So, Deadbeat Stick, grand weapon. Weapons are more rare, so it's good to get a good number of those. So, alright, there's the card reveal. Let's take a minute to talk through them. So, starting from left to right, again, we've got the 3 Custodian cards here. Let's open this up. Okay. First, let's go to manage cards, and then we can do this. So going through each one, Builder Unit is a 8 Spirit 6/6. It's a mech laborer, and the effect on engage, again, the engage effect is when you play the card, is to summon a support from your deck. So the support cards, they're going to be less readily available, I think. So being able to pull this into your hands to be able to, or really to summon it directly, is actually very good. Kind of explains the high cost here, because not only are you playing a support, you're pulling it from your deck. So both of those effects are quite strong, which makes sense with the large spirit cost. Now, supports are going to be units or cards that you can play that don't typically directly interface with the units on the board. It takes only some certain cards or certain units can actually interact with the supports to damage them or to try to get rid of them. So I feel like they're going to be pretty sticky type cards, and so being able to immediately summon one from your deck, I think, is a quite good effect here. Alright, so next let's talk about Destructive Dissonance. First time I've really seen this card. So this is a spell for the Custodians. Remember, Custodians have a lot to do with songs and verses as part of their mechanics, and so you're going to see a lot of different musical references in the custodial card set. Again, Destructive Dissonance not being different there. So the effect is, if you have entered 3 different songs this turn, deal some amount of damage to all creatures. So they're still going to be working on the exact amount of damage to deal based off of their balancing. 3 different songs in a turn. Hard to know exactly how difficult that's going to be to achieve. So really kind of hard to know how to judge this. It is a 5 spirit cost. So depending on how difficult it is to enter songs, this may be kind of hard to trigger. But if it's a mass AoE, now this is all creatures, so this would include your own as well as your opponent's creatures, but could be a quite strong board wiping effect if it's quite easy to trigger. Okay, we have another builder unit, so we'll move on past that onto some of our spacer cards in our common, or in our neutral rather. So this first spacer card is Rocket Booster. which is a common spell. Costs 2 spirit, and the effect is activate your ship's charge ability. Add 2 charge to your battery. Alright, now I haven't looked too much at the ship mechanics, so that's definitely something that we'll need to look into at some point. But essentially you're going to have a battery that you have to charge in order to use, I believe, your ship's weapons. Now these weapon effects will probably be quite strong when you're able to use them, because it's going to take many turns to be able to charge your batteries up to use it. So having cards that directly speed up the battery charging for your ships will probably be a good thing, especially if you're trying to build synergy around leveraging your ship. So we'll see how that ends up affecting things. Next, let's come back to the neutral. Well, actually, let's go into it now. Alright, so this neutral Gilded Beetle is a rare mech beast, so it might fit well into beast or mech decks. It's a pretty standard Spirit 2, 2/2 body. That is a taunt, so it could be a good early game if you're trying to slow down an aggressive deck. And then Last Breath, so on the death of this card, this creature, you get to draw another card, so a good cycling card. I feel like sometimes cards like this don't look super impressive on stats, but end up being very versatile because it's a good way of cycling. So you could even include this in your own aggro deck as a way of countering some opponent aggressiveness early in the game, but also being able to cycle through and keep cards in your hand. Alright, so now on to the last 2 cards. Refuel, a spacer card again, which is a common spell, 2 spirit, and add some amount to ship battery. So okay, we see 2 spells that we've gotten directly related to the ships, which from a class or a faction perspective, being the spacer class, makes a lot of sense, right? So the lore behind the spacers being that they're going to be flying their ships out, being either cargo running or some sort of pirates, space pirate, or part of the cartels, things like that, might be smuggling. So the fact that they have multiple cards that are going to be interfacing with the ship makes a lot of sense. And that's one thing I really like so far about the game, is that the class lore, the faction lore, seems to be really well done, really immersive, and I think these cards just go to show that. And then finally, the Deadbeat Stick, Grand Weapon. Effect attack is equal to your leveraged spirit. So I've seen several cards that talk about leveraged spirit. Not sure exactly what that is. That may be something similar to a shaman style mechanic in Hearthstone, kind of like an overload, where you might be able to use extra spirit one turn and have to pay for it by locking out some spirit next round. I'm not exactly sure how that mechanic's going to work, but essentially the idea behind this is to leverage a bunch of spirit, really boost up that damage for this weapon, and be able to use it to either bludgeon a creature or maybe even as a finisher for taking down your opponent's citizen. So, a quick word on weapons. Weapons are selected before you start the game in the deck building process. So I believe everyone will start the game with a weapon attached, and there's some sort of mechanic on being able to, forget exactly what the name of the mechanic is, but it's not going to be instantly usable, I don't think. I think it's some sort of durability associated with it that limits the amount that it can be used or when it can be used in the game. So we'll have to see exactly how often and how much these weapons are going to be affecting the gameplay. I know in Hearthstone, weapons can really make or break decks at times, so we'll see how they end up balancing this in Enter the Ultraverse. Alright, and with that is this pack that completes all of the cards that we've opened today. Not the best in terms of rarity. Did get a grand weapon, which is nice, but would like to start seeing a few more legendaries. I have gotten a few legendaries, still waiting on that ultra. So we'll see if I have enough cards left to get lucky and pull a nice big ultra for us to look at. But besides that, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next episode.